So now back in old good days, 19th century, Wilhelm Steinitz taking on the man Lasker in the big match tournament in 1896 in St. Petersburg. So d4, d5, c4, e6, knights developed, bishop f4, bishop e7, and Steinitz's famous weapon, c5. It took many years and an analytical genius of Efim Geller to actually discover that black could play b6, b4, a5, a3, and after exchanging on a1, knight c6, queen a4, take on c5, creating a very strong initiative. And that's Geller Engorn. That's many years later, in fact, nearly a century. But Lasker at that time already felt the danger of being pressed on the queen side, and he tried to deviate Stein's attention from the queen side and put knight on e4, hoping for potential breakthrough in the center. So just quite amazing to see that an old ex-world champion found energy to play this complicated game, and instead of playing normal moves, he recognized that the only way to fight for initiative is just long castle, and did it without any hesitations. It's quite an amazing game to analyze because Lasker was also not playing poorly and also was creating chances. Just look at this position after queen e7. So after f takes e4, black is having very strong breakthrough in the center, e5. So Steinitz has to make a prophylactic move, bishop g3, and then a typical Lasker, f4, just trying to complicate games even further, because after bishop takes f4, e5, black has a very comfortable game, strong initiative. But Steinitz was playing one of the best games. Queen takes e4, fg3, hg3, and there are only 2 pawns for a piece, but it's such a tremendous initiative. And again, just 15 moves. Only 15 moves for play, and this is a Queen's Gambit. We are not in the enchanted territories of King's Gambit or King's Indian or Benoni or any other fashionable gambit. We are just playing through the classical game of chess played by 2 titans in the classical Queen Gambit's decline. But after 15 moves, the position is complicated. White sacrificed a piece, created a strong initiative, and the Steinitz intuition proved to be right. His attack was very strong, and he had more than enough compensation. So after g5, f4, it would be too much for Lasker to bear. Then you could see that how white pieces could simply develop, just following e4, e5, and then bishop d3. So Lasker tried to sacrifice a pawn, but just to slow down the development of white's initiative, but it was not enough. So rook g8 was the best move here in this position, and that could create more fight, but still I believe that after rook h6, Steinitz would be dominant. So Lasker played poorly, rook f7. I think he was even great Lasker was quite surprised by Steinitz's unlimited imagination. g4, rook g7, queen h6, rook g4, bishop d3, and white's attack is already unbearable. Knight goes on f3. Look, it's so harmonious, so simple, and that was played by a man who reached his 60th birthday that year. And that's it. So very nice, very quiet. So black's pieces are thrown out of the board, just pushed to the ropes, and the black king is waiting for final execution. So even exchange of the queens doesn't help black, and Lasker eventually had to resign.